Hi guys, it's me again. I'm Lena, and in this video I'm going to be talking about my first DE, which is on my progress week 79. Now, as usual, I'll be following my detailed plan, which is I'm going to be talking and covering 5 main parts. The first part is what have I learned, the second part is the goals that I set for myself, the third part is what have I improved, and the fourth part is the discussion in the meeting. Lastly, I'm going to talk about the works for next week. So let's get started right away in our first part. So my first part is on what have I learned. So last week, I have learned about the timeline to become a pediatric nurse. So that is the first thing that I learned. More specifically, I learned about the key steps to become a pediatric nurse. For example, in high school, what will I have to do, university, medical school, and then earning the license and then becoming an actual pediatric nurse. So that is the first thing that I learned. The next thing that I learned is in the DE3 week 78, which is on the mass volume percent. That is the formula that I learned, and I also reviewed along the way. I also reviewed about some of the skills, practice, and improve some of my skills that I already learned. So those are the things that I learned. Next is the next thing that I want to talk about is the goals that I set for myself. So based on Kennedy's feedback, as well as things that I've reflected over the past week that I feel could be improved, firstly, I need to change the last sentence in my writing, specifically in the conclusion, since I feel Kennedy also said that it is similar in the ones that is in my writing in the past. So I need to change that last sentence so that the writing could be advanced, it could be more advanced, and also be diverse, more diverse. That is the first goal. The second goal that I have is don't procrastinate. Why do I set this goal for myself? Well, firstly, I often make the work close to the deadline, and I need to improve that skill, that behavior, that bad behavior, because it will affect my life. And yeah, that is one behavior that I have. I need to change that. I need to follow the schedule quickly, strictly, and also do all the works before the deadline, like on the weekends, especially on the weekends. Those are the things that the goals that I have. 3 main goals: change the last sentence in my writing, don't procrastinate, and follow the schedule. The third part is the fourth part. The third part, is the things that I have improved. So the things that I have improved is firstly, send in the feedback, then the next thing is send the instruction, and also send in the works on time. Now, those are the things that I have improved and have been improving for the last few weeks. I've sent in the feedback on time, the instruction on time, and also the works on time as well. So that is one major improvement that I feel that I have made during the last few weeks. The fourth part is on the discussion in this week's meeting. Now, the discussion in the week's meeting, just as usual, we talked about the self-reflection, math in healthcare, and the main work. So for the self-reflection, we shared insights into what we feel that we could improve ourselves, like our goals. We shared our goals, the improvements, things like that, and gave each other additional comments. And that is for the discussion, the first part of the discussion. The second part of the discussion is the math in healthcare, in which we reviewed over the third DE, its problems, and our answers for it. Moreover, I gave suggestions for Kennedy on how she could improve her video and her work, overall work as well. Lastly, we went over the main work, which, as usual, we went over the main topic, the timeline to become a doctor, and I asked Kennedy several questions in which she asked me what are the exams she needs to take to become an orthodontist, and I don't exactly know, but I know that you must pass a medical test, to get into medical school, and pass a test to become an orthodontist. So that is the discussion in the meeting. Last but not least, the works for next week. The works for next week is the same. It's the first DE, second DE, third DE, and the main. The The first DE is this video, the Progress Week 79. The second DE is the real life exposure opportunities, as well as the main video, in which we are going to talk about the opportunities that will be presented to us in our dream job. Like for me, I want to be a pediatric nurse, and for Kennedy, she wants to be an orthodontist. And for the third edition, Mrs. Pratt hasn't sent it in yet, so that we're still waiting on it, so it hasn't been determined yet. So that wraps up the end of my first edition of the Progress Week 79. Thank you for listening to my video, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.